welcome to Make Kind Loud, conversations that turn up the volume. Today we are talking with Carrie Fabris. Did I say it right?
You did. You did.
I was like, I just practiced it. I just want to make sure that I said it correctly.
Yeah, you're good.
How are you, Carrie?
I'm doing great. I mean, trying to be as outstanding as possible in these crazy times. I'm really great if I'm great. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, definitely. Here, let me tell the people about you a little bit.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna jump in and we're gonna talk about all the things.
Great. Let's do it.
So Carrie is Chief Connection Officer at CareerFrame. She uses real world experiences in the workplace, training, and certification on Clifton StrengthsFinder, as well as her studies on engagement, overcoming team dysfunctions, and performance habits, combined with passion to help people meet their professional and personal goals and dreams. In 2016, Carrie launched CareerFrame, as a platform to work with leaders and teams to reframe their thinking, drive connection in the workplace, increase engagement, and ensure alignment for increased productivity. She has 20 plus years of corporate experience in the travel industry and 13 plus years of leadership experience working for global brands like Travelocity, Google, all of the things. Right. Born, raised, and residing in Dallas, she is the mom of 2 spirited children and married to a travel tech entrepreneur. And she just published a book called Fans Are Fantastic and holds a degree in communication from the University of Texas at Austin. Welcome, Carrie.
Thank you. Wow.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Thanks.
So you have all this experience. Let's talk about your coaching and what do you mean by reframing thinking? And let's just jump off with that.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I left corporate in 2014 to be with those 2 spirited children. They were 1 and 3 at the time, and it was really during that time that I went from leading a national team of like 30 people that listened to what I said and wanted my coaching and my leadership to 2 little people that didn't listen to a word I said. Right.
Right.
It was like, wow, this is really frustrating. And it was really during that time that I did my own reframing. I didn't really call it reframing at the time. I wanted to be okay that I'm a mom who wants a career. I love having a career. I love making an impact in, to others, personally, professionally, everything else. So long story short, got this great idea to launch and wave my fruit flag and say, I'm going to coach, brief consulting. And then it became CareerFrame. And it was this whole thing of, what do I want to help people do? I want to help them think differently. I want to help them do things differently so they get a different result, right? So on a friend's couch in New York, I just started brainstorming and I'm like, okay, so I want to help people reframe really in their careers. I'm kind of just coming off corporate, so I'm not really going down the personal side just yet. And that's where CareerFrame came from. Wow. So reframing is exactly that. It's thinking differently. It's getting out of the head.
I love that.
It always wants to talk us out of doing everything that we want to do or we think we can do. The brain's like, no, you can't. I'm going to protect you. Why would you do that? Like, you get that idea. And so it's getting out of the head and getting more in the heart so we can actually drive connections with each other in the workplace, but also personally. And as CareerFrame has evolved, I do work with teams and companies, and I love doing that. And I bring my corporate leadership experience to the table. But I really enjoy working with people personally as well, and kind of helping them get out of their own way. Because I had to do it. I had to get out of my own way and did all the coaching and the training and the tough self work that is so hard, but so necessary. And I had to do a lot of my own reframing, and I'm still doing it. I mean, it's just like an ongoing journey. I'm still doing it.
Yeah. I mean, like you just said, it's an ongoing process. It's not like a switch that you flip and then you're done. It's on. Like you have to keep reframing.
Yeah. And like I started this journey. I found a coach. I hired her in December of 2018. And this was 2 years into CareerFrame. And I actually went back to corporate because CareerFrame failed. in my mind, it failed at the first time. It didn't fail now that I've reframed my thinking and I've gone through all this work. I had to go through that back to where I am today with a very different mindset. But I started this journey in 2019 of reframing myself, predominantly personally. I hired this coach to focus on the business, and it just, she's like, you know, we got to work on you first, right? Like, please tell me. I was like, I'm great. I don't have to do. There's no
right. There's nothing wrong. I'm perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. And looking back, I mean, my friends, my husband, they're like, oh my gosh, we can tell the growth and the difference. And now that's 2020, and thank you, coronavirus, we're all having to reframe again. And so now I'm in this, awesome place of, let me pick the next category I need to reframe on, you know, right? Just chunking it down. And so anyway, thinking differently so you get a different, hopefully better result than you had coming into the situation.
Yeah. And it really is deciding who you want to be and how you want to be in the world, right? And enjoy the work to get there. Say it again.
I think a lot of us don't know, and I think a lot of us have that anxiety of, I don't know. Like last week, I was sitting in my I have a recliner. I do this a lot. I do a lot of air quotes. I have a recliner. It's basically the chair for my kids' nursery. And it's like this huge, like push it back. It's awesome. So it's in my office. And I was sitting in the other day and I was like, what do I do next? What do I do next? I don't know what to do next. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to be. And we all go through that, even when we do a lot of work. But I think it's just making sure that you just start asking, what do I want? And not judging yourself when you ask yourself. And then it's the, why does it matter? I think a lot of us think, why? It's why does it matter? And how's it going to serve? How is what I want and why it matters? How is it going to serve others for the greater good? And so that's why I do what I do with CareerFrame and with Fans Are Fantastic, which I know we'll get to in a second, is I realized going through this process that I wanted to feel good. I mean, I wanted to feel great.
Yeah.
And I realized that I feel great when I am helping other people have these ahas and uncover things and rediscover and just practice different behaviors with human connection, that only good things can come from better human connection.
So agree with that. So agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just found myself I want to do this because it feels good to me and I'm serving others and helping them feel better. And it's just this awesome domino effect. So
I love it. So you mentioned Fans Are Fantastic, and I do have a copy of it. Boom.
Yeah.
Right there. Fans Are Fantastic. It's beautiful. You wrote this book. It's about your son, Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the process, why you wanted to write it, all the things.
Yeah. Yeah. And the poster behind me was the layout that came from the printer so I could make sure everything looked good. And when it came,
awesome.
Great. And when the book arrived, I cried. it was,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you so much. And I will tell you, this was 100% a labor of love. And quite frankly, something I wasn't sure that I would actually bring to fruition. Like I'll get ideas and get excited and be like, I'm an activator. So I'm like, and we're off. The achiever in me doesn't come along until I've done other things. And then it's like, okay, now we gotta get it done.
Right.
And what I've realized about myself is that, and I was having this like, like real time is, I'm only going to finish it if it really matters to me. And I'm realizing how many things I have started because they seemed amazing. And then it just didn't really matter, I guess, subconsciously. And I think it was also conscious. So my son, when he was 4, was diagnosed with high functioning autism and sensory processing disorder. And I think I'm about to get joined by one of them. I'm on a call. You got to go. Bye. Welcome to homeschooling. Welcome to homeschooling when we're trying to get work done.
Perfectly fine.
We're all doing it. So I'm not that worried about it. It's just like, love you. Go away. I'll be with you.
Love you, honey.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, that was not my son. It was my daughter. But anyway, so he was, so high functioning autism and sensory processing disorder. And we went through years of therapy starting when he was 2.5. Like 2.5 was when I first he did this. And I was like, what was that? It was like a little, it just got my attention, like a raised eyebrow. Like,
right.
So anyway, long story short, he, on fansarefantastic.com, I share this story. Okay. And the first words out of Lucas's mouth, to the best of his ability, because he had real low oral muscle, so his tongue was always out, he couldn't really talk, was dada, mama, and then he would go, that's a and we're like, what is he saying? But every time he'd say it, he'd be staring up at the fan. And so we were like, I think he's trying to say that's a fan. And the first time he really started looking at fans was when he was 2 months old. Like I have the picture, it's on the website, of like the first time I had noticed he was just staring at a fan. So he is now 9 in June. And we've gone through every phase like every other kid has. We went through the construction, sign phase. We went through the car phase, the train phase. We went through everything. Fan phase has been here, just so committed to the fan, to the love of fans his whole life. And so I was in the carpool line one morning, dropping him off, and we had lost a library book, and it was driving me crazy. And I'm like, why do we lose this book? And the librarian and I are having this exchange. She's like, don't worry about it. She's like, Mom, all he wants are books on fans. And there are no books on fans. And I was like, there are no books on fans. Why is that? Now, before I say that broad statement, there is this mom who created Emmett's fans, and she's got like a bunch of little books, and it's super cute. It's just literally pictures of this kid with the fan.
Gotcha.
What they didn't have was a full colored illustrated books on fans. Okay. So that's the difference. I came home that day and I wrote Fans Are Fantastic in 15 minutes, literally using things that he said or has said, things that I had observed. And a few months before this idea even popped in my head, I started this song for him, and I'm going to really scare everybody, and I'm going to sing it for you.
Go for it.
This is one of those like universe moments. My mom passed away when I was little, and I think she pops in my head every now and then, or my ear, just like, do this. This is very much like a universe now that I look back at it. But I'm sitting with my son on the couch, and I just literally improv make up this song. And it goes, fans everywhere, spinning so fast they're blowing my hair. Fans over here and fans over there. At the fans I love to stare. Fans are fantastic. Fans are fantastic. So
I love that.
That's the beginning of the book, right? So I was like, well, that's got to go in the book. And so that's how the book starts off. And then the rest of it was just things that he said and things that I had observed. And so I then I got accepted by a local Dallas publishing company, and they wanted a lot of money to do this. And there was a lot of services that were going to come with it. And I was like, I'm not doing this to be New York Times best-selling children's book author. So I decided to piecemeal. So I piecemealed it all together. And long story short, it took a year. And then in January, 2,000 books showed up on my front step. And when I pulled out the book, I was like, I just lost it. I was like,
right.
I did it. It actually came to fruition.
It's on hardback. Yeah.
It's just a sweet little book about this little boy who just sees fans everywhere. And, and it just kind of opens your eyes again. It's like the whole spirit of reframing, right? It's like when you look at a firework, my son sees a giant sparkly fan for a second, awesome. and like now I don't look at fireworks the same because he has reframed my thinking of how he sees different things and why they calm him and soothe him. I don't know, but he was a fan for Halloween 2 years ago. That was a challenge. That was a test to see how creative mommy and daddy could get on creating. It was a labor of love, and I wanted to, I just being very authentic and real. Like I haven't always been the best giver, and and that's from my own subconscious imprinting, childhood trauma, blah blah blah. Right, and I very much want that to change. I very much want to be a giver and do kind things, and so. With the sales of Fans Are Fantastic, I am collecting the money for the book, and then going to find a special needs charity for kids to donate some proceeds to it. There's a fabulous one here in Dallas, the Huckleberry Foundation, started by a mom a kid on the spectrum, and she writes grants for families that can't afford treatment. And I want to help, because it's frustrating. It really is frustrating, and it's highs and lows and rewarding. And then you have your days where you just want to bang your head against the wall when you have kids, you've got challenges. So anyway, that's going to be, my way of kind of making Kind loud, is anyone who supports us with the book, and they can get a signed copy from Lucas. Then we'll give some proceeds to special needs charities.
I love that. So when the book arrived, that's beautiful, by the way. When the book arrived and you showed it to Lucas, what was his reaction?
Yeah, you've seen his reaction. I
saw it. Awesome.
You're like, I read it.
Yeah.
I had him sitting down, and I had the book behind me, and I'm like, so what do you love more than anything? And he's like, fans. And I'm like, and so he knew it was coming. So he looks behind me. He's like, what? Is it here? Is it here? And so he just starts jumping in like this high pitched scream. It's like, just like so excited, and flipping through the pages. He loves the number 32, of course, because it's when water freezes to ice, and it's a thing. So he wanted to do other 32 pages. I was like, yes. And he loves the color orange, so we put orange in the book wherever we could. And he's in the book, his sister's in the book. And he just was so excited, and then just attacked me with a huge hug. And it was awesome. I mean, it was just great. Like, it was one of those just super proud achievements that I kind of looking back, I'm like, part of me is like, I can't believe I did it. And then I'm like, yeah, I can, because it was for my son. You know, and again, I realized that when things really matter, like truly matter to the heart, not this thing up here, that's when we make things happen.
And you just get it done. Yeah. And so that was it. You were going to get this done for Lucas.
For Lucas, yeah. For Lucas, and also for other kids. Like, I've also realized, becoming a mom, and I think it's, again, losing my mom when I was little, like, I want to honor her and be the mom that she didn't get to be. And I realize I'll pretty much do anything for kids. I'll pretty much just do anything for kids, because their innocence is so amazing. And then we all, we grow up and we lose that, and then we judge, and the self-talk and all the stuff that comes with being an adult, that we have to actively remind ourselves, again, that whole reframing thing, to not go there.
Yeah. I often wonder, like, when that switch flips, right? Because you're right. Kids are just amazing, and they're beautiful beings. Like, when does that change? You know what I mean? Into the cynical adults that we sometimes become.
Yeah. And honestly, I know that answer. It's between the ages of 10 and 14.
Yeah.
It's formed pretty much between 0 to 7. If you're a little bit generous, up to age 14. But really between 10, it's like when you hit double digits. When you hit double digits is when you start noticing things differently. And that's when the ego starts to go, hi, hello,
gotcha.
Nice to meet you. I got this. Step aside. Right. And then that's when you guys start to work, and it's just where it starts.
Wow. Well, look at that. We're learning things here.
Yeah. That's the goal.
Yeah, it is. I love that. And so, like, listen, coronavirus has us all locked down. We talked about the homeschooling. We talked about the shutdown. But also, the beautiful thing about this whole quarantine is how humanity is rising up.
Yeah.
So what have you seen that has, sparked humanity to come together?
The first thing that comes to mind is humor. I have seen some phenomenal, awesome humor come out of this. I mean, the memes that are flying around everywhere. I don't even know how many I get on my phone from various friends and family a day. And I mean, I'm just like, that's what this is all about. Like, it's just laugh through it, just go through it.
Yeah.
And I think that, and so I've seen that. And then I've also seen a lot of, again, giving. And that's really resonating with me, because I'm like, I want to do that. I want to do more of that. Like, what are you doing? How are you doing this? And why are you doing it? And what's the result? And like, I start to get all cerebral on it versus just do it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of giving, and, like with the CareerFrame piece, I'm on LinkedIn every day, and I see all these people giving all these webinars and knowledge shares. And I've got a workshop that I'm doing for remote management, because I've been a remote manager for 13 years. And so we're all just trying to give. There's a lot of giving. I don't know if it's just because of the, my bubble,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm seeing more, let's be real. Let's not panic.
Right.
I'm seeing, and again, I know that's not broad, but it gives me hope when I see people taking this seriously and not freaking out.
Yeah, totally.
Because when you get to the freaking out part, that's when it's just not healthy. It's not good.
Yeah.
So I like seeing the humor. I like seeing people go, okay, we're going to do this. It's other things that have come out of this. I've never seen more people out riding bikes in my neighborhood ever. Sadly, because my husband and I traveled a lot, and he's a CEO of his company, so he would get home 7:30. We rarely sat down as a family to eat dinner.
Right.
It was usually me in the kitchen, the kids up at the bar, and then Dad would come home. And we rarely did it. We did it, but it was like a unicorn.
Yeah. Right.
Put up if we actually had dinner. And we've had dinner as a family every night since March 16th. And we're at our dining room table with candles, and we're making it fancy. And we go on family walks or a bike ride every night. So there's all this beauty coming out as families. I think there's a lot of us that are reflecting on this kind of winter time that we're in, like mentally, like we're all in seasons, and this is a winter, and it's, what are you doing in the winter that's going to plant the seeds so it'll grow when the spring comes? And the spring's coming. We don't know when, but it's coming. So I love seeing those kind of things. It's like people are getting more family focused. They're reflecting more. They're going more internal.
Yeah.
And again, it's just beautiful to see. Just beautiful to see.
I agree. I totally agree with that. I mean, I same. When people are outside playing outside, they're, they hear the kids' laughter outside, and that wasn't happening as much before, because people were consumed with their own lives. Well, they were whatever your life was, that was your life, right? Yeah. And so now that we've had this pause, and we can't be involved as much in the life that we had, we have to recreate it. And what does that look like? And so I love seeing that. And for me, I love that humanity is becoming kinder. Like, of course there's stories or negative stories, but we're not going to focus on that. What I love is just seeing everybody come together, seeing everyone being creative, and how
and saying like a genuine hello to strangers. Exactly. I mean, it's like we're present, and we actually see each other now. Like we're always like this, and we're just not even paying attention. And now we're like, oh my gosh, it's a human. 10 feet away from me, it's not my family. Hi, how are you? I mean, like, we're just so excited to see another life form, Right. We're like looking at each other. And I mean, I know, like, when we go on our walks, we may or may not, have a little drink with us as we're walking around. And we're not the only ones. And we'll see like neighbors that we don't even know, that they just live in our neighborhood, and we're all like, hey, how's it going? Everyone's just having, just trying to find the beauty and the light in the heaviness and the darkness, find the good, because everything is ebb and flow, for all the bad, there's all this greatness. And for every loss, there's you find something, and for every ending, there's a beginning, and, life is going to go on. Yeah. And this is a big deal in our lifetime. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I think the world was like, time out. Yeah. Everybody needs a timeout. Yeah. It's like we were all doing all this stuff. Yeah, we're all doing all this stuff, and the universe is like, you're hilarious. Right. Watch this.
Yes. And like you said, like, we're never going to experience something like this in our lifetime, where the entire world is on pause. Not just America, not just North of, like the entire world is on pause right now. And this is when we show up and like, who do you want to be and how are you going to lead?
Totally.
Yeah.
I talk a lot in my trainings and speaking engagements with CareerFrame. I talk a lot about showing up. And what does that mean? Like who showed up today? What you know, which Louisa showed up today? Which Carrie showed up today? And why did you show up the way that you did? But I think that, I mean, without a doubt, this time in our life is really we're gonna show ourselves and others who we really are. Like our true colors are. I was joking with someone the other day, and I'm like, she was telling me the story about someone who just was so very much on the panic, like attacked, almost like verbally attacked my friend because she was, I think, 4 feet instead of 6 feet or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And I told her, I said, the next time that happens, just look at the person and go, I see your true colors. Calm down by seeing that you see their true colors.
I am going to use that.
Like, have a serious look like, oh, and then just bust into song of true colors, because we're all showing good, bad, ugly, whatever, who we really are. And I mean, I've had my moments. Like, I know I do not want to be a homeschool teacher ever. That's when my true colors come out.
I love the fact that, you know, we've talked for years about how teachers are important and how service workers are important and health. They're so important, but we've never really truly embraced how important they are. And so
Teacher Appreciation Week next year is going to be ridiculous. I mean,
I posted on my thing. I was like, teachers, start putting your list together.
Exactly. Okay, you're gonna get
what you want.
Yeah, totally. Exactly.
You are going to get it.
Yeah.
Put it on the list.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you know what? It takes something like this so people can open their eyes to say, that person who has my child for 7 hours a day is extremely important.
Yeah. Well,
I need them.
Yeah, it's just making all of us present to what matters.
Exactly.
We're so lost, especially in this country, with the hustle and bustle and the go, and the competition and the speed and the, everyone's working all these long hours. And I'm like, stop working so hard, work smart, like and focus on what matters. Like, that's how, just whatever matters, that's where you put your time and your energy. When you do that, it's amazing the beauty that follows.
I love that. So what do you hope happens once we open back, once the world opens again? Because, we're shut down. So what do you hope happens after we're let back out into the wild?
Well, beyond hoping that some of my favorite restaurants are still okay.
Yeah.
I really hope that we don't go back. Because like after 9/11, and I lived in Manhattan on 9/11, and after 9/11, and of course coming from the travel industry, like industries were massively impacted, and people, I mean, especially New Yorkers, were just like, I love you, man. Like, it was just so close, and the sense of community. And then we just went back to how we always did things. And so my hope is that this is on, and 9/11 was on a pretty big scale. I mean, that impacted the world, right?
Yeah.
This is like, it's a little bit differently, because I'm just going to say this. What I love about coronavirus is it doesn't care who you are, what color you are, what class you are, how much money you have, where you came from, what you do. It doesn't care how old you are. Like, it doesn't care.
Yeah.
So it's actually showing all of us that we are all equal, and our societies never thought like that. I mean, we really haven't thought like that. We're all equal, and it's fair game. And so my hope is that we take that. We all look at each other on a level playing field now, and that we all that we're all more present, that we focus on what matters to get fulfillment. Because someone can say, well, getting that meeting with my client at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, that matters. It's like, Are you fulfilled by that, or like I get it, it matters. I'm a corporate trainer. I know how important that is. But what really matters about it? So that's my hope, is that we get to what matters, and that judgment just goes away.
I love that. I love that. I hope that as well. Listen, I could talk to you all day. I love your spirit. I love the energy about you and what you're all about. And this book is amazing. Boom, there it is.
Fantastic, isn't it?
It was fantastic. Let me tell you that. And the website is fansarefantastic.com, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So check her out, fansarefantastic.com.
Yeah.
Carrie, you are awesome. And like she just said, it's about figuring out what matters most to you and how to just show up in the world, because we all need each other. Thank you, Carrie, for coming on and taking the time.
Wow, what an honor and pleasure. I thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. This has been another episode of Make Kind Loud, conversations that turn up the volume. We will see you guys next week. Have a beautiful weekend. Talk to you soon.